Okay, this next behavior is to teach your dog to go to the mat on cue and go to a certain place, and basically you're teaching them to target a specific location, which is the mat, with their whole body. So the first step is to put the mat on the floor, and with your positioning, the dog is likely to get on it if they like to stay in front of you. And you're going to pick the mat up, put it down, put a few treats on it to encourage the behavior, click when their feet are on it, and then pick up the mat. Because you want the behavior to be go to the mat, so you need to move the mat each time to be able to set up for the next behavior. So I'm going to hold him back just a little bit and put a few treats on it. I'm going to click when his feet get on the mat. Pick the mat up. When the dog is rushing over to the mat to get those treats that you've put on it, then you can move to the next step, which is put the mat down and then just wait for his feet to get on there and click and reward him while he's on the mat. And you're going to pick the mat up, put it back down, click when he gets all his feet on there, and reward when he's on the mat. Pick the mat up, you can just gently pull it out from under the dog, put it back down, click when he gets his feet on there. You're going to do this multiple times, even if he's getting it right, because again, you want to practice the correct behavior instead of rushing ahead too fast where maybe he's guessed correctly a few times and doesn't truly understand what it is that you're looking for. So now you want the dog to, you're going to first click when he gets just a couple feet on the rug, but then you're going to start clicking when he gets all of his feet on the rug. Now obviously the bigger rug you use, the likelier that is, but even with a smaller rug and a big dog, you can still get all 4 feet on there by shaping, which is waiting for just a little bit longer of the dog to get their feet onto the rug. Your next step is going to be hold the click until the dog lays down. So you toss the rug on the floor, and then you're just going to wait until the dog lies down. Now he knows this behavior, obviously. You can, if you need to, you can use a food lure to get the dog into a down the first couple times. So and again, you're just going to pull it out in between. So if he got on the rug and he was sitting and sitting and sitting and he's not getting it, then you can use the lure in your hand and just put the food down toward the mat and see if the dog will lay down. And you want to click as soon as those elbows hit the mat in order to get the down. Now don't use the food lure too many times in a row, because the dog will start waiting for that food lure. So you just want to do it a couple times and click the down, and then see if he'll do it without the lure. So you can try putting the mat down and just wait and see if he'll offer a down. If the dog knows the down cue, then you can cue the down as well. But again, just like with the lure, you want the mat to be the cue for the dog to get on there and lay down. You don't want to have to cue the go to the mat and the lay down. So drop the down cue as quickly as you can and see if the dog will offer that down on the mat on his own, so that you can click that. Once the dog is consistently offering that down on the mat, then you need to start working on getting longer and longer duration. So they need to stay in that position for several seconds before you click it. And you're just going to wait and then click for 1 second, and then 2 seconds, and then 3 seconds. And you can vary the amount of time that they have to lay down before you click, so it's not always getting longer and longer. You want to keep the dog guessing as to when that click might happen. And you have your choice. You can pick it up in between or not, if the dog is consistently staying on there. So if I pick this up and you want to move the mat around, obviously I'm not able to do that too much here on camera because I'll be off camera. But you do want to move the mat around so that the dog isn't just finding that particular spot on the floor. They start learning that it's the mat itself that is causing you to click. So once you can predict the down on the mat without a cue down, then you can start adding the behavior for go to the mat, which his is place. And you want to add the cue right before you offer the mat so that the cue predicts the behavior. He can start using the place cue to anticipate that he needs to go there and lie down. Place. So if I pick this up, I'm going to hold him for just a minute. And you can start doing this in order to get some motion in it. And you can start just moving yourself away from the mat when you throw it down away from you, or throw the mat a little bit further from you. And you can say place. So that the dog starts working at a distance from you. Because for some dogs that's very difficult. They don't want to move away from you to do the behavior. That is just so cute, that tail wagging. So again, I'm going to move away from the mat, and I can do this by simply offering the reward back here now instead of on the mat, or I can give him the cue on the mat and then the reward on the mat, and then call him back to me and reward both the go to the mat and a recall. Go place. Very quiet. So that's that behavior.